Hi, I'm Phoebe,
And I'm Jay.
and this is episode
6.
6 of Conversations with Phoebe and Jay, your Bible besties. Yay! We missed you guys last week. We couldn't shoot, we couldn't record because our editor is in school.
I
He's a schoolboy.
was going to blame the rains, to be fair.
Hey,
That too. No, because
well,
that
technically
yeah.
true, yeah, it's been raining quite a bit as well, so it's not exactly safe.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, not technically not exactly safe. But yeah, so the rains. Our editor is a schoolboy. Shout out to Jude. All the best. And yeah, so it's been a relatively not so busy
Yeah.
um past couple of weeks. We've all been doing our own thing individually, kind of really.
Yeah. But I'm still at work on the TikTok, so shout out to all the guys on TikTok who are liking and commenting on our stuff.
And I've
Again.
slagged a bit on Instagram. My bad. I apologize. I'm gonna pick it up again. I'm
Oh my
sorry.
days.
I'm apologizing. I'm apologizing on my behalf and the behalf of my creativity. We both come together and say we are sorry for slacking on Instagram, but we'll be back before you know it. So
Over
you're
to
in
me.
charge of this episode. To me, there,
Yeah.
I'm just here to support a brother. Throw a few curveballs here and there.
Hopefully not today. Today's topic is a little bit, should I say, uncharacteristic for me
Why?
in a sense, because usually when I'm handling an episode, it tends to be more okay, let's say relatable and friendly, more like I don't know how to put it, like lecturing.
Pasta.
But today we decided to sort of combine the two, right? So the topic for today is Christianese, right? And essentially what that is
Wait. Where did you get the name Christianese from?
it's something that people say a lot.
Real, I
Never
have.
heard
This
it
is the
before.
first I'm hearing
Oh,
Christianese.
but usually it's not used in this sense. It's used in the sense of like, okay, so let me give the sense we are talking. We're talking about it in the sense of things that Christians usually say as Christians, but specifically for today's episode, it's things that aren't quite true. So usually when people talk about Christianese, it's like, okay, maybe somebody has lost a loved one. We go and meet them and we're like, oh, God knows best. Oh, like ebeyeye, famanyame. Those are like that's Christianese. Like somebody who believes in God usually says those things to sort of, I don't know, uplift their mood or motivate
This is the first time I'm
another
hearing that
or
like
something like that.
particular word Christianese.
Christianese. Oh, so that's basically it. So honestly, when I started, I think I told you this yesterday. When I started, I had a list of 12, but I figured 12 in an hour. It's like
It's not gonna be possible.
it's like 5 minutes per one, and we always spend like 10 minutes in the introduction anyway. So that's not gonna happen. So I brought it down to 7, but then I realized that even in that 7, they are still quite deep, like quite heavy. So I trimmed it down to I think 4. Even that, I'm not really sure if we'll be able to get through it before we hit the 1 hour mark. So
It's like part one.
if we're unable to hear, then this will be like part 1
Part
in
one
a
of
2-part
to be
episode
to
or
be
3-part
determined.
episode. Or we might turn it into a series. Because I still have my list of 12.
Oh, so this
So
might be
yeah.
part one.
We'll
See what the Lord will
yeah.
do.
Yeah. Let's see. Let's see. But basically, I want to ask you a question. And then based off of that question, like we have a discussion on it.
If I throw you a curveball, don't
No,
complain.
that's fine. That's fine. So one, very first one. God helps those who help themselves. Is this something that you have said? Did you believe it? Why did you believe it?
I've said it. Well, have I said to someone? I don't think I've said it like
to
in
another
conversation,
person.
and then I tell you, God helps. I think maybe to myself.
Yourself.
I've said it to myself as a form of like
motivation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do I believe it? I would say partly,
Kinda.
yeah,
Okay.
because well, okay, so my believing is from the point of understanding that um in order for God to work things out for you, you need to participate.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
that
Okay.
is from
Okay.
my
Okay.
like
Okay.
that is
Okay.
from
Okay.
my perspective, yes.
Okay. Okay.
So I think from my understanding, because if I've looked at everyone in the Bible, every um pastor I listen to, every follower of Jesus Christ that I observe, I've noticed that in order for certain things to work out, you need to play
A
a
rule.
role.
Fair enough.
Yeah, because if I'm looking at, let's say, Abraham, if God asked him to leave, he hadn't left. I don't think what the promised
Yeah. Yeah.
land
Yeah.
would have been money. So, not in terms of like I'm shifting responsibility to God, but then I know that I have a part to play.
Yeah.
If I play that part and God comes in,
Yeah.
then
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
things move exponentially. So
Mm.
that is from my
Your perspective.
perspective. Yeah.
I
So not
think.
like I'm trying to check and then put everything
Yeah.
on God else.
I think if it's that, then I understand and I agree.
Yeah.
But I think that where I have seen and heard people use that phrase sort of is on the other end of the spectrum. So, Abraham, God helps those who help themselves.
Mm.
It's probably what Sarah was thinking when she said, God has promised us a kid. You may as well go and,
Oh, yeah.
haggle with Hagar
Yeah.
and, come up with a child because we've been promised a kid. My womb is closed. So clearly, God wasn't talking about me.
Yeah.
He was talking about you having a
Yeah.
child. This is my slave. Our tradition says that if you have whatever with her and like she gives birth, it's my
It's my
child
child,
anyway.
yeah.
So that's where I've often heard people talk about it from.
Oh, okay.
And you'd realize that it's sort of contrary to everything that Christianity or God, in my opinion, stands for. In the sense that, yes, the Bible multiple times references diligence, which is what you are talking
Mm-hmm.
about. So realizing that, okay, God says he's going to give you a job. Like it's a word that you've received
Mm-hmm.
that before this year ends, I will bless you with a job.
Mm-hmm.
Your part to play would be to, let's say, apply for a job and learn skills whilst you are waiting for the job. Not, let's say, going around wanting to get somebody fired because you want that job. So I think that's where that distinction ought to be made. So it's not necessarily saying that entire statement is false, but there is a point where that thought leads to self-dependency, which is sort of counter to everything that the Bible teaches, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. So that's what I wanted to point out. Because sometimes when you do that, what you are saying is that I can only come to God when I am, or I feel like,
hit a wall.
yeah, I've done all that I can do. So, okay, bro, Father up in heaven. And they'll say, oh, the big guy. But again,
But he's a big guy.
That's another topic that we have to come to. Like, don't be saying Sky Daddy and stuff like that, bro. Like,
But he's a Sky Daddy.
He's not Sky Daddy. He's your father.
He's a Sky Daddy.
He's your father.
He's my Sky Daddy. Yeah, but so I have actually never understood it from that point. So I have like taken the words like God helps those who help themselves in terms of if I pull myself, like if I'm pulling my own weight and I'm going to God asking for help to pull on that weight, I'd be able to get what. Well, maybe I'm just not malicious in nature.
Yeah. But sometimes
it
might not be like malicious intent. Sometimes it might be unintentional.
Yeah. But okay, yeah. So I also get to the extreme where I understand from people extreme where you are so focused on doing what you can and then waiting till you hit.
Yeah.
But that also speaks to. I also feel like moving in that way also speaks to not having trust in God as well. So I mean, I understand from that angle, but don't do that, okay? Trust in Him, man. He will do it for you, okay? Don't
Oh
do
my
that.
God.
Okay, rely on Him.
Oh my
you
God.
have your strength, but He gave it to you. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Open mouth. Go on this and say, hello, Sky Daddy.
there were a couple of examples that I had written to sort of show that there were multiple times that Charlie, people in the Bible really they didn't do anything. Oh. God just came through. Like Israel at the Red Sea.
Yeah.
There was no much they could have done.
Yeah.
To help themselves would be what? To go and start swimming. They go to pass the water out. Your part to do is to cry unto him, which is what they did. But if you be standing there, you say God helps those who help themselves. So hey, yo, start swimming. 400 meters swim dash.
Oh, maybe just
I'll
the
drown.
Olympics.
I'll drown.
Me mom there, I'll tell you that 400 if you wouldn't have gotten me to, I wouldn't have lasted till that
You drown.
that Red Sea moment.
And one of my favorite ones that I wrote down was Lazarus. Lazarus was dead. And dead people are famously unable to help themselves.
Oh.
So like
Maybe when he died, he got to
Actually.
heaven say, "Oh God, I beg, God, I beg, God, I'm on my knees." Now I'm just kidding, but yeah.
Yeah, and this past I think week and a half or so, I've been following along the new verse of the day. So we've been going through the Beatitudes, and one of them is blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Now the whole idea behind that is that you are very, very acutely aware of the fact that you are unable to save yourself. So you require, I don't want to say an extra hand, you require a hand to be saved, which is basically the premise of the gospel, that you, me, and everybody else watching and listening is unable to save themselves.
Yeah.
So we need a savior to come and save us from our sin. So if you don't like do that sort of balancing act where, okay, your point where you're saying that I have a part to play,
yeah.
If you don't tread that line cautiously and it descends into I have to do it myself before God comes in, then it can be a little bit tricky. And it reminds me of that story where Jesus was telling about the Pharisee and then the tax collector, where the Pharisee says that, oh, like I'm better than everybody. I fast, I do this, I do this, I do this. Basically saying that he doesn't need God's help.
Yeah.
He is as clean as they come, as righteous as they come. And the tax collector is like, like he can't even look up to heaven because he knows that, like,
don't catch the sky, daddy.
You see. And so for me, that's why I just wanted us to draw that distinction that, oh, it's true, you do have a part to play, but it's not like
self-reliant.
Yeah, struggle. See, one day, one of my favorite topics for 2026 has been rest, Sabbath rest specifically. One day, we'll talk about it.
That is why I sleep on Sundays. After church, I go to my house, I enter my room, I close my door, and I sleep. Unless any other important thing. If not, my Sundays are for resting.
So I think one day we'll talk about rest. But basically, if all you're doing is toiling, and then when you feel like, oh, Charlie, it's not working again, I'm going to God. You have wasted a lot of time. So that's that on what do you say?
God helps
those who help themselves. So again, we are not saying that it is wrong entirely. We are saying that there is a limit to where the truth in it holds up. Right? So the bigger biblical pattern is that God consistently helps those who know they need him. Right? Even at times when people don't know they need him, somebody stands in the gap for them. So take, for example, let's say Daniel. Right? Daniel stood in the gap for a whole generation of people. Nehemiah did the same. Ezra did the same. If you don't, like, you are there, you're like, Charlie, me a day, I'm strong, I'm this, I'm that. I don't need your help. It's not going to come to. He's not going to force himself on you, right? So
think about it.
That's one. Should we move on? I feel like we should have done the 5 because it's only 15. It's only 15 minutes. I think it's only.
Let's go. So if there's anything else, you have it in your head, so we can discuss.
Do it later. Yeah. Number 2. I don't know if you think when we are doing like the Instagram shots or something, we should do like. We'll think about it. Number 2.
Not you strategizing in the middle of an episode.
Sometimes when the thoughts are coming, you have to just say them right now. Number two, God won't give you more than you can handle.
I must confess that I've said this. I've said it quite a bit, quite a lot. But I actually also kind of believe it.
Tell me why.
So I believe, how do I explain it? It's kind of almost like how I explained the first one. I believe that God knows your capacity and what you can do, what you can't do, what you're able to do, what you're not able to do. And I believe because He knows you, He's able to give, and not just like, um, okay, He's able to put you in situations where He knows that at the end of the day, last, you pull through. Not saying like on
Your own.
your own, but then because He knows you, He knows what you can do, what you can do, what the, I should not say, the temptations you can handle, the blessings you can handle, the tests you can handle, and all of that. So that is my, that's where I'm coming from, because He knows you. It's like, how do I say, a parent knows their child. They know what their child wants, what their child doesn't want. I put in my house, they know what I like to eat, they know what I don't like to eat. So
Mhm.
they won't come and give me what I don't like. They won't do what I don't like. Same, because I know who my parents are. I won't do what they don't like, unless I'm being stubborn. Sure. But I won't do something that they wouldn't appreciate.
Yeah.
Neither would they do something I would. So that is from my perspective, that He knows you. After all, He said it Himself that He knew you before you were born. So I think that He won't put you in situations where you'll be forced to go against, like, who you are as a person, against what you trust in, like believe in Him as your creator, your maker. So that is from my, but down there, Makanda, oh, I
Okay.
say it.
So
I've said it.
this is exactly what I felt that people think when they say this. And maybe because I am biased against it, I only looked for examples that are against it.
Mm.
So if, as you are watching, whether it's on TikTok or YouTube or Instagram or whatever, and you think that anything that I will say here on down, you disagree,
Cancel him.
and you have biblical evidence to support your thoughts, I won't call it an argument, your thoughts, I'm very, very, very open to seeing that. But what I wanted to say was that actually, let me pause, take a breath, and then say that the idea, I think it comes from 1 Corinthians 10 and 13, where it says that God is faithful. He will not let you be tempted beyond what you can bear. And when you are tempted, He would give you a way out. Da, 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 da. So the subject is temptation. It's not suffering, it's not grief, it's not ministry, it's not persecution, it's not trials, it's not tribulation, it's not loss, it's not life. It's temptation. Temptation. So when it comes to temptations, that I would agree. When it comes to everything else, I think that the Bible is absolutely peppered with examples of people that more, not even just more than they can bear, but like to the point of crashing. And I'll give you a couple of examples, right? So the person who said that God is faithful, He will not let, that was Paul, First
Yeah.
Corinthians, right? That same guy.
You said that same guy.
Second Corinthians, Second Corinthians says that 2 Corinthians 1, 8 and 9.
Yeah.
We were under great pressure, far beyond our ability to endure. That we might not rely on ourselves, but on God. So if you are saying that God will give you more than you can bear, the thought is like being strong out of God not tempting you beyond what you can bear. And the person who said that is saying that they were under pressure far beyond their ability to endure. That same person faced shipwrecks, faced beatings, faced stonings, faced all of those things. Do you think that it was something that he could have endured on his own? Most likely not, right? And then even he himself, I should have probably written the verse down. Actually, I did write it. 2 Corinthians 12 and 9, where God says to him that my grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. That was Paul's prayer to, he called it a, how do I say, a thorn in his side or something like that he had prayed about multiple times because it was like, it over him. It over him. And God said that, nah, Charlie, my grace is sufficient for you. For my power is made perfect in weakness. So if God was not going to give him more than he could bear, why would he then be praying that God should take it away?
So, okay, so this is what I am thinking. You see, God is all knowing.
Yeah.
That is one. So from my perspective, we as human beings tend to limit ourselves as to what we can and cannot do, right? Until you actually like try it. Do you understand? And from what you're saying, yes, I mean, Paul was shipwrecked, he was in prison, he was stoned, he was shunned, he was
Bitten by a snake.
but like a lot of things
Yeah.
happened to Paul. And I think maybe he felt as human as he is, like this is what his strength can. I mean, shipwreck. So maybe he felt like, to me, I can't endure this. But to God, because God knows who Paul is, God is like, nah, you actually can. That is why I'm giving it to you. That is what I'm thinking. Because
I disagree.
Because to be frank with you, if you tell me to go to which people are fighting with America right now? I'm fighting with everybody. Iran. That I should go and preach the word. I ain't gonna. I'll tell you that. I don't think it's something I can do.
Mm-hmm.
Do you understand? It's not something I think I can. As an African girl like me, already that's just one mark against me. I'm also a female. That's another one against me. I'm Christian. That's like 3 against me. Before you put me in a war-torn zone where there's no Wi-Fi, no like chances of survival are quite limited. I would think it's not something I would be able to do. But then because God knows my capacity, since He is on and He knew me, so He thinks that yeah, you go. And then you go, and then to the point of I will help you, like we discussed earlier. I would help you as you go. That is from my understanding.
That's exactly my point. He will give you more than you can bear, so that what? You will come back to him and say that my Father in heaven, this is more than I can handle.
Are you saying God is manipulating us?
I'm not saying he's manipulating us. I'm saying that if he only ever gave you things that you could handle, there would be no need for faith.
Okay, well.
There would be no need for God. There would be no need for like any of this. Because I'll give you 2 more examples. Moses in Numbers 11, right? 10 and 15, or 10 through 15, especially verse 14, says that I cannot carry all these people by myself. The burden is too heavy for me. This is a guy that stood in front of Pharaoh about like 9 or 10 times, telling him that this is what God is saying, did all these miracles, did all this, whatever. And then gets to this point and says that, Charlie, me, I feel them a pimp. Like, I know go fit. I think for me, the craziest example is Elijah. Everybody always hypes up Elijah because on Mount Carmel, he calls down fire, swallows up all the priests of Baal, swallows up the sacrifice, swallows up the water, swallows up the wet stones, everything. Immediately after, I think, I forget her name, Jezebel and her husband Ahab are trying to kill him. He runs away, goes to this mountain. He's like, Charlie, God, kill me now. I can't. I'm the only one left of all the priests. Kill me now. God said, sleep, eat. And then after.
So that is my new motto, please. If ever you are suffering, if ever you are stressed, if ever life is beating you down, remember, God said, do what? Eat and sleep. So yeah.
And he gives him, God actually does feed him. Yeah. And God reminds him that he doesn't see the full picture, that there is still a remnant of prophets that he has kept hidden away from Ahab and Jezebel. After God feeds him, he then goes on like a 40-day journey where he fasts. Long story short, it was more than he could handle. But even he didn't realize that like the same God who gave him that victory on Mount Carmel swallowed the niggers up to fire and all of that. is the same God who he should be asking for sustenance.
All right.
See, so that's what I want us to see. Don't think that, like, they say God reserves the strongest battles. That should have been another one that I put
Me,
in.
I've not heard that one.
God gives the strongest battles to the strongest warriors or whatever.
Sir.
You've not seen that one.
And then he do
You
mistake.
said it.
Because
You
I'm not
said
the
it.
strongest. I'm
You
not a
said it
strong warrior.
in some episode that this year you are not signing up for.
Yeah, I didn't sign up for the.
So you've heard it.
No, so that I've not heard that one. But that you see this year I didn't sign up for that. It's like a trend that
Yeah,
people
but
say every year.
that's why they are saying that.
For me, I know I do. If that is the case, then he picked. He picked the wrong soldier.
God cannot pick wrong. He can't pick wrong. I was going to give an example of Jesus, but I think that one is a little bit tricky. So one day we'll take time. Yeah. It felt like it was like more than he could handle, but that was in his human form. That's what I'm saying. It's a very, like, it's a topic that needs more than just a 1 minute.
I'll have to invite a pastor
discussion.
To discuss with us. Yeah.
So maybe one day we will talk about it. But that's number 2. I feel like we're flying through this. Let me check where we are. Okay, 27 minutes. That's not bad. I like it. Maybe we should have done the 5. But then again, you guys are not aware, but she's recording this like it's early morning, guys. It's like very early.
Don't be saying these things. It's okay. Let's keep it between us. I think my bosses see this. Let's just.
But anyway, number 3. Money is the root of all evil.
Yes.
That I'm sure everyone has either said it or heard it.
I agree.
You agree?
Okay, well, not really.
Again, I want to hear your opinion before I go into the notes I made.
I don't know if I should say I agree or disagree. Look, I watch too much TV. That is one. Okay. And I'm on TikTok.
Way too much.
Quite a bit. All right. And I see what money makes
people do.
People do crazy. I'm just saying. But then again, it's not like the money, like the physical cash that is telling you to do what you are supposed, like you don't want to do. It's like the desire for it. But if I need money, you come to me right now and tell me you hand me $10 million and I should sell out my brother here. I'm not saying I will. I will consider
you already
it.
Have.
How will I have?
You already have. Like the fact that you are considering it is.
I'll sell him out.
It's equivalent. It's equivalent.
I'll sell him out, but then I'll. So this is actually something. So. So there was one time during lockdown, like back in 2020 lockdown period, and I was on Twitter. That was my source of joy at the time. I hadn't really fully discovered TikTok. I was on Twitter, and you see the people used to do these like question threads where you can reply, and then one question was, would you break up with your boyfriend? So like if you're in a relationship, somebody can give you like maybe $1 million, what would you break up? I was like, oh me, I'm not in a relationship right now, but I'll find somebody. That's what he did, and then break up with them just for the money. But then, like, there are jokes like that ask you, like, would you slap your father if someone can use your parents for like $10 million? And I see those things as funny because I don't think I would ever, because of cash, I should go and slap my dad, or because of money, I should go and like hurt a family member or like a friend or something. I don't think I would ever do that, right? But there's always this saying that for the right price, people will do anything, right? So I mean, so I'm not like, it's not like the physical, like your one city point that's telling you that hey, go and buy it. The desire and the desperation and the need for it is what's pushing you to do those things. Yeah.
And I think that is actually what the Bible says. Not even I think that is what the Bible says. But I don't know how, when, or why, but it seems like over the years there has been, I don't know whether to call it a corruption of the actual verse. So the verse is actually 1 Timothy 6:10, where it says, the love of money is a root of all kinds of evil. But then over the years, it seems like the love of has been chopped off the verse, and then we say money is the root of all evil. Money is the root of all evil. But again,
Yeah, so I think it's because it's very hard to accept the fact that you played a role in the. It's very easy to blame
something else
something else. Yeah,
first.
because if, for example, um, I go, maybe I'm working my job, and then there's a promotion by somebody in that position, and I know that promotion is going to bring me more money, so I do everything I possibly can to get rid of the person. Listen, the person after that, the person's life just
Yeah,
ravishes. It's much easier to say that, oh, I did it because of the money, than to say that I needed, like, to put. I can always need to shift the blame to something that's like to distance yourself from
yeah.
it, not to put yourself in the fact that you actually sat down and thought of it because of the money. It wasn't the money itself
Mm,
that came to you, and then in your dream you dreamt. Yeah. So I think it's maybe that's probably why the love of course you put the love of there. That means you had
yeah,
a
yeah,
part
yeah,
to
yeah,
play
yeah.
in whatever that you did. So
Yeah.
I think that is probably why. But
Right.
then again, I believe also game of telephone.
Explain.
You see, so there's this game, it's called telephone, where you can have, like, let's say 10 people sitting in a setting, and then it starts from one person, they say a phrase, and then it's passed on
Ah,
to.
like Chinese
So
whispers.
so by the time it gets the last person, it's either the phrase is changed, it's words are put in there, words are taken out. It's possible that it started from the love of money is the root of evil, and then as time went on, people kept saying it, people kept saying things started
Yeah.
being taken out, the love of, so I think that's also
A part.
a
It
part,
makes sense.
yeah.
I think
So
that's
it may
an
not be like in an intentional omission, but then
mm, I am cynical at times. I think it was intentional. Because I think there was a time in, I don't know whether I should call it Christian history, where like what's the, I don't know the technical term, but it involves like monks and monasteries and stuff like that, where it seemed like Christians were glorifying poverty. So we made
mm,
poverty sound inherently spiritual, and then wealth sound inherently
bad.
worldly or devilish or something
Yeah.
like that. But then again, I think in the episode 1 or episode 2, we talked about Abraham, talked about Joseph, we talked about Jacob, we talked about Isaac,
Like about Paul.
we talked about all of these people
Oh
that
yeah, yeah, who
most
had
likely
money.
were rich and were still, Job actually,
Yeah,
even
Job.
before the tragedy hit, was probably the richest
That's
man.
episode 3.
Yeah. So we see that it is possible to be extremely rich and still be a very godly and very
Yeah.
righteous person. So we cannot say hand on heart
That.
that money is the root of all evil, but it is the desire, the love of money that becomes the root of all evil. And there's something that Jesus said in Matthew 6 and 24. I always I always wondered why, right? Because when Jesus is talking about you not being able to serve two masters, you would assume that it would either be God and the
Mm,
devil, right? But he doesn't say that. He says it's either God, or some versions say mammon, which some people say is like a
God of
ancient god
creation as
of,
well.
yeah. So it's either God or money. So it's either your heart posture is towards God, or your heart posture is towards money. Because really, if you are in the world, everything that you do would be directed or would be channeled at making like money, making
Mm-hmm.
bread, right? So if we do not start saying it for what it is, there is a very, I don't want to call it a slim chance, but there is a very real chance that we would live as Christians in perpetual poverty, right? Because then you are assuming that everything that has to do with
Everything in the
wealth
world
is
is
worldly.
worldly. Yeah.
So I don't want a part to play in it. But think about it. If there was no money in the church, right? How would you build a church? How would you solve the needs of those in the
The
church?
church. Yeah.
How would you go on missions? How would you go on outreaches? How would you make the world a better place? If if let's say people who are worldly, people who are very obviously have like, or people who very obviously have nothing to do with God in any type of way, like they are corrupt, they are evil, but have money. are, let's say, feeding people on the streets, but then killing 100 million people elsewhere,
Yeah.
who do you think people on the streets would be more likely to support in terms of their ideology and stuff like that, right? And I know we've mentioned Old Testament people, but there were people in the New Testament as well. So Lydia is one of the examples. She was a very successful businesswoman. There was also, is it Joanna? Joanna was
The one who was
sewing.
I know she was okay. Well, she was also called Deborah, right?
Deborah is in the Old Testament. That's right.
No, I know because I remember there was. I remember for her particularly, they said she was either called Lydia, like they
Or
gave
something
two or
else.
something else. I remember it was two different.
I don't remember the second one, but I remember Lydia. Then Joanna was somebody who was consistently supporting the ministry of Jesus. I think she was in Herod's court. So I don't think she can be supporting a ministry and then be poor, because unless maybe she's sacrificing everything she has, which is also fine.
Who was fine.
That was,
she had some cash on her.
That was something that I was also going to talk about, but that's more biblical than like Christianese, in the sense of people saying she's a prostitute. I didn't see anywhere in the Bible that says it. So anyway, another topic, another day. I was going to give another example, but I lost my train of thought. Anyway, all I'm saying is that wealth is not worldly. Like, wealth is not unchristian. Poverty is not Christian. Like, I'm not saying if you are poor you can't be a Christian, or if you are rich you cannot be a sinner.
Like towing the line of like taking it upon yourself as your form of persecution.
Yeah.
As a Christian, it's not.
Yeah.
True.
There's Charlie.
I agree though, because if that is the case, then you would have situations where you would end up relying on, quote unquote, the wealthy.
Yep.
And their influence, and that will end up making you compromise on certain things in the church. Because if you are claiming that as a Christian, money to support you, so going to stay away from money, you would need to get money from somewhere to build a church. And if you go to a rich man's house who is in the world and he says that, okay, fine, come build your church, but I want my name on the church, or I want a room dedicated to me, or I want a statue of myself in the church,
or you are not allowed to talk about certain things
in the church, then you end up compromising on your beliefs. So money is not inherently evil, it's just how you get it. What you do with it. Is so you do have a part to play when it comes to money and
I guess
I think you were asking why, you were saying you were wondering why Jesus was comparing like 70 masters, saying God and wealth. And I think it's because I believe he noticed that as human beings, we tend to think that everything God can give us, you can get through money. Do you understand? Because if it's a job, for example, I can bribe someone to get a job.
I mean, if I have money, I don't need a job.
If I have money, I don't even need a job. Like, if I'm sick, I can pay. If I need something done, I can pay for it. I can't pay someone to pray for me. At the point,
they were selling salvation too.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. I can pay someone to pray for me. So I think and again, because money is something that you can easily rely on. It's very easy to, if I'm here and they send me money right now.
Your attitude will change.
The things, you see, as people say that if I get money, you will see, but there are certain things that will change. Oh, the things, because a lot of things that if you sit down and say you want to plan out, you're like, I want to do this. You realize that if you had this amount of money, if you had this amount, 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 you have to clear all these things from your list quite easy. It's easier to rely on, again, because money is tangible, it's easier to rely on something you can see than something you can't see. So I think that is what I believe Jesus was. I can't think for him, but this is what I am. I'm assuming that maybe he looked at human nature, that because it's something we can easily rely on, and something you can, should I say, easily get if you're an unscrupulous person. I'm just saying, because
it's very easy.
It's very easy to get money. I mean, if
there's a reason why I wear socks, because I could be selling feet pics.
Oh, it's got for free. Don't worry, I'm being generous. That's fine. But but it's very easy, because I mean, if you look at this day and age, social media is like one of the easiest ways to make money. And doing certain things on social media is one of like it's very easy to make money nowadays. You
Yeah.
don't have to like
Stress too much.
fight and stress too much. You can all it takes is a camera and a tripod.
Yep.
And so on that note, hi guys. We're looking for funding. Thank you very much.
You
But
last
yeah,
one. Last one. My very favorite. Christians aren't supposed to judge. I've heard that multiple times. In fact, I've said that multiple times. Especially when somebody is, very honestly, very lovingly convicting you of something that you have done. You're like, we're not supposed to judge. Don't judge me. Are you judging me right now? I am sure at some point in your life, you have either said that to someone or thought that about someone
I mean,
before.
I've always thought don't judge lest you be judged. But then but then I have looked at it from the understanding of the word like judge or English, but I can't define. But if you look at who a judge is, that's one who gives like
Verdict?
no jury gives the verdict. Judge is the one who does the sentencing, right? So it's like you relegate the person to a certain standard or label or whatever. Um, I think we, oh God, give me words to say, but I think we have sort of um, conflated criticism and judgment
Hmm.
in terms of now, if you try and correct someone when they are obviously doing wrong, they automatically go on the defense and say you are judging them when you are not coming from that
Oh,
position.
where we are. That is fine.
But no, but
It's
how
fine,
is
it's
that
fine.
judging? Because I
It's
feel
fine.
like I'm trying to like you are clearly going down there. I feel like judging would be if you point out to the person and then you use that as a means of um should I say disrespecting, disregarding, like trying to rubbish who they are. But if I'm coming to you as a friend, I'm like, oh Joe, I don't think what you're doing is
Hmm.
this.
Mm-hmm.
It
Mm-hmm.
doesn't do this. So I think you should go about it this way, this way, this way, this way. Like I'm open to like helping and all of that. But if I come and tell you, Joe, so the last time I saw you here, what's wrong with you? And I rubbish you. I'm not also you cry, you're not a and then I just leave. I feel that is what I see as but I think because I feel as Christians you have a part to play because if we are all part of the body, right? It's us on us to like guide each other as best as we can. So if I see you are going down the wrong path and I say that I am going to sit back, when judgment day comes, God is going to question you. You knew he was going this way. You claim you are his brother. You claim you are his
Yeah.
sister. So why did you allow him to go that way, right? Because I think judging is like when it's a final decision. We've done. We've looked at you, right? Actually, your case. There's nothing we can do about it. In fact, the one bottle
Oh.
of the one glass of wine that I saw you drink, you're an alcoholic automatically. I didn't even ask the circumstances. I didn't ask why the reason was. I didn't try to dig deep. So that is why I think. But I personally, I'm a little judgy. I ain't gonna lie. Me, I admit it. I listen and I judge. I ain't gonna tell you, but I'm like,
I think
questionable life decisions.
I think that the problem is that we're doing semantics. The judgment here is not a judgment as a measure of condemnation.
That is where that's the word
That's not what the
condemnation.
Bible is saying. And the reason why I took my time to like let you finish, didn't interject, is because I think that the problem with many of us is that we take Matthew 7 verse 1, do not judge or you too will be judged, forgetting that there is verse 2, verse 3, verse 4, verse 5. Do you know the very next verse?
Carry on.
For in the same way you judge, you too will be judged. The measure you use against a brother to be used against you.
Yeah.
Then that very famous log in your eye, speck in your brother's eye verses are there.
Yeah.
That verse It says that if, let me read it. I don't want to paraphrase. Today we're not paraphrasing.
So dramatic.
Do not judge, or you too will be judged. For in the same way you judge others, you will be judged, and with the measure you use, it will be measured to you. That's the first part. The second part is, why do you look at the speck of sawdust in your brother's eye and pay no attention to the plank in your own eye? So that's again another thing that people used to say.
Yeah.
This,
I think
this.
that actually even went down to become a proverb.
Ah, I see.
That's really something in your eye before taking out
Yeah.
something log in your
Mhm.
whatever.
Verse 4. How can you say to your brother, let me take the speck out of your eye, when all the time there is a plank in your own eye? So this verse 5 is actually what I believe is the key verse that we don't even get to. We do the don't judge or you too will be judged. And then we do the take your log and then speck. Verse 5. You hypocrite, first take the plank out of your own eye. Then you see clearly to remove the speck from your brother's eye. So it means in the end, judgment ought to happen. Just that before I'll come and tell you that, oh, this thing that you are doing is not right, I have to make sure that if there is something bigger than what you are dealing with, I know that it's not good, and I am potentially working on it or have worked on it before I come and tell you that, oh, Aja area isusu there ebia ende a obey another Aja area on I'm sorry if you don't speak fancy. I'll translate it into English.
What you are doing is not, good. Stop it.
That's why I didn't say it in English, because it sounds a little bit harsh in English. But when you are speaking in Akan or some local
Really?
language, yeah.
I think those languages are even more harsher than in English. I
Well,
think
maybe
English,
it depends on
English
tone and
means like,
inflections. I don't know.
because I feel like the Ghanaian language is very
Because if I
heavy.
told you that, oh, Aja area isusu there, like onya there ofata, like peace to Nibesia.
So what he's saying, that's what you are doing. It doesn't fit the description of a Christian.
See,
Yeah.
this sounds more.
Just paying for translation.
This sounds more like than what I say, because when you are speaking in Akan and any other local language, I say Akan because I speak Akan, Tree and Fancy. But if you are speaking in any other local language, there are certain, I don't know what the right terminology is, but you can,
Yeah, I mean,
those used to soften the blow, kakra,
yeah.
But when it's English and I'm like, oh, this thing that you are doing, even now when I'm saying I have to add the same Ghanaian inflection, this thing that you are doing, I don't think that's
it's a good thing.
you see. But if I say this thing that you are doing is not good, or even if I say this thing that you are doing is not good, it still sounds like
Yeah. So I think
let me
no. So
let me finish.
I'm not disagreeing with you though, but I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm saying that I feel like, you see, maybe because again, maybe I'm playing into semantics here, but then let me look out for the definition of the word judge. Because I think when you judge someone, like you're saying, it's condemning them.
Yeah, but that's not what the
That's
Bible is
what
talking
the
about.
Bible is. I feel like the Bible is coming from a place of correction. Do you understand? But that's what I'm saying. That it's like we have personalized it so much so that like we feel like the moment somebody is trying to put you on the right path, it's like you are judging me. Like, who are you to judge me? Do you
I'm your
understand?
brother.
Exactly, that's my point. Like we are always so on the defensive.
Yeah.
Do you understand that the moment, because like it's a running joke that if you're in a relationship and you hear and your girlfriend or your boy texts you, we need to talk, but you think that, hey, what have I done? Like what did I do wrong? It may be you need to talk about the plans we have for Saturday.
Yeah.
Like like it's not always a bad thing, but we made it such that like again there's unfortunately a stereotype where Christians have been stereotyped as judgmental.
So like towing towards
condemnation. And unfortunately, some of us tend not to help that narrative, unfortunately. But then because of that, even if I'm a fellow Christian coming to you and saying that, oh,
You don't think what I'm
I've
wearing
not
is
seen
nice.
you in church, or maybe perfect example. So I am walking by somewhere and I see you in like some you've opened your shirt and you're walking around, and
Yeah.
I'm like, "Ah, but you like how could he just
You
like
see,
that?"
that's judging.
That's the thing. You see,
That's
and I
like
think
condemnation.
another thing is we think it, and the way we think it, we say it
You
out loud. Because
think
in
it.
my head, I'm like, why is Georgia? I'm like, before maybe I'll be like, oh, why is Georgia? Maybe I'm like, okay, maybe. But that's what I tend to do nowadays. If I see something, I'm like, then I'm like, there could be a reason behind it. It's better to find out the reason behind it than to go on the jump and say
Yeah.
that, oh no, this is a bad thing. Because for imagine you come to my house and I'm wearing my short skirts in my house, and like, but if you happen, and I'm like, first of all, I'm in my
Yeah.
house. You know, like I'm walking around in this. I don't even wear mini skirts anyways, but like I'm walking around indecently. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Or like, because I feel like honestly, I feel like I'm not in a position to tell anybody what they can and cannot do. The best I can do is be like, oh, I think I disagree with what you are doing. I do not have all the knowledge in your help, but this is what I think you should go about it. You can either take it or leave it. I'm not going to hold it against you. That's why you take my advice.
Yeah.
How
Yeah.
dare you not take my
Yeah.
advice? You're a bad person for not taking my advice. Because me too, there have been times where people have advised and I've ignored that advice. Do you understand? So again, it's I feel this topic there's a lot to it. Yeah, but the judging, I feel like we is very quick to condemn someone, and I also feel like sometimes it comes from a point of what's the word actually? For lack of a better word, disclaimer, please. I'm not saying that is who you are. But then sometimes we tend to hate ourselves for not being able to overcome certain things.
Yeah.
So that we project that anger or guilt onto others when it's not supposed to be that way. But if, for example, I am prone to lying, right? Automatically, whenever somebody says something, I would have a distrust in what they are saying. Because I feel like if I can lie,
You
you
can
can
lie
lie
too.
to me. And then because of that, we tend to like label the person that you are. If someone does something to you one time,
Yeah.
because of past experiences, you automatically label the person because like you don't even want to deal and address the issue anymore. I think that's another reason why sometimes we can be very, very, very harsh with our judgments. Let me say, particularly we're very, very harsh. We tend not to give people second chance because if for example I was dating somebody, they cheated on me, that is in my mind. So the next relationship that I go in, I'm always up looking, and I know
Yeah.
that this one particular girl that my partner is always working with. I'm like, you are cheating on me. I don't even go and ask. Boy, you're not the person's sister,
Yeah.
cousin. And you watch it in movies all the time where somebody was cheated on in the past, they move to a new relationship. Whereas that, oh, this person is close with one particular girl, you don't even find it. Or much you live with person now, no, let's break up because why? Why? You're like, how? I think it's something that's we tend to do. So there's a lot of factors that play into the whole judging thing, being on the defensive, projecting, working on past history, sort of looking at what is in the time now. Because currently, from what I've seen of and I'm grateful for that, young people who are rising up and speaking the gospel, whereas a lot of them are not conventional Christians. Because there's one Asian guy, I don't know, I forgot. He posts on my tier once in a while. He was in prison. Like he did, his crimes were not like small crimes. He ended up in prison. He's got tattoos. He's everything. If I say an Asian like an Asian guy who's Asian, you wouldn't picture him. But when he speaks, you realize that's somebody that has like giving his life to like, and he's walking that line. Do you understand? So I think if you're always going to go off based of this person is a bad person, this person, like we rarely give people a chance to redeem themselves. That's something I've noticed. We rarely give people a chance to redeem themselves. It's like once I've labeled you as a liar, that is it for you. Even if you come and tell me that you've changed, I'm not listening. I could care less. In my mind, that is who you are, and that is where I think that is what I think judging is. Because don't forget, you have lied. Hello, are you on your way? Oh yes, I'm on my way. Meanwhile, you are not just up in your house.
I'm
So
still on my way.
it's you are not on
I'm on
your
my
way.
way to getting ready.
Nigga.
Yeah. It's a half sentence. You didn't let me finish. I said I'm on my way. I'm on my way to something.
But yeah. So I think what we need to look at is like we are not. So we need to understand that we are not judging from our, so those who are giving the correction and those also receiving it, and understand that not everybody who is coming to you is coming from a point of being judgmental. It's coming
Like
from a point
when you
of
say judgmental, you mean condemn.
condemning. Yes,
Mhm,
condemning.
mhm.
We are come from a point of we've seen that things are not going the way they're supposed to go to, and so as people who are concerned about you, we are trying to help. And those of you that also go and give help, don't be talking anyhow, because there's one thing there's one thing I have come to learn, that it's not what you say, it's how you say it. If I'm correcting you and I come from a point of, are you correct, is that how I thought you do this thing, automatically you're not going to receive
Yeah.
that correction. You'll be like, but how dare you speak to me like that, who do you think you are? And then it becomes a whole. But if I'm like, oh, um I'm noticing this and this and this, and I think that you could go about it this way, or this is how I went about it. I don't know if it worked for you, but then you could try it out this way or whatever. Or maybe like you offer some level of advice, or like, and advice doesn't always have to be that, oh, come and sit down. Let me tell you something. It could be like, oh, you mentioned you are struggling with this. I read this somewhere, or I heard this somewhere. Maybe we could listen to it and see if it will help you. You could, like, it's not always come and sit down, let me tell you what to do. Come and sit down, let me tell you. Like, there are different ways to go about it. So I think that's what I mean. The judging thing, it's there are a lot of things, because people, we tend to speak very harshly sometimes, unfortunately. Although yes, God, because me, if I receive someone, I'm like, ish,
For me,
direct from source, no, not
for
from.
me, what I want to end this segment with is 1 Corinthians 5:12 and 13. What business is it of mine to judge those outside the church? Are you not to judge those inside?
I mean,
God will judge those outside. Expel the wicked person from among you. That's it. So, as a body, if I'm a hand, left hand, and my right hand is fully, I have to be able to tell my right hand that, oh, bro, this one there, I beg, like straight it up. If my back is hunched over, I have to tell him that, Charlie, you are putting extreme pressure on my lower spine. Straighten up. If my leg is not doing one, like you have to be able to tell each other
yeah,
where you are. Like the Bible says, bear each other up.
yeah,
But you see, when that one we hear it, it sounds more soft. But when we hear judge, we think it's harsh. But it's same idea,
yeah.
different like
That's what I
execution of
think
it.
the word judge has become very.
This is what I'm saying is semantics. But that's not, again, if I always advocate for people to try as much as possible to. I know when I say this in class, like Bible class, you guys make it seem like I'm some scholar or something, but that's not the core. What I always say is when you are reading something, and the word there is challenging you because you are feeling some type of way, look at what the actual Greek,
Yeah.
Aramaic, or
I actually
Hebrew
learned that.
says.
I do that because
You
of you
see,
sometimes.
yeah, just do that, and you see that the emotions that you are attaching to the thing, it's not even there in the text. It's just by a
And then I
fact
think you
of
also need to put in
translation.
context the fact that the Bible was written in times where
Yeah, exactly,
there weren't lots of synonyms for certain
exactly,
words.
exactly. So we were only able to do, we are literally bang on the hour mark. To you, it might be like 57 minutes because some part of the video will be cut, but we're bang on the hour mark. I think that the other 8 or whatever that is left, we would either do another 4
I think we should
next
continue
next week or next week or something, and then the ones that are deeper, we can take them like episode by episode. Because one of my favorites that I wanted to talk about was that I've heard, I think even you've said it, and many people have said it as well, that the God in the Old Testament was like very wicked or very harsh.
I never said that.
You have said it before.
No. I said it was somebody in the office who said that. It was somebody, we were having a discussion in the office. The person was like, the God that we know now
Yeah.
and the God in the Old Testament, or the God we know in the Bible are different. I told him that is not true.
I've heard many people say that
That could not be possible.
the Old Testament God is very harsh.
Who are we worshiping?
Exactly.
Yeah, I personally have never
Said that.
believed that.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Again, context matters.
So, again, we were only able to cover 4, but like we're saying, we would come back to it, God willing, either next week or the week after. It depends. I don't know
Just do it
if you
next.
handle if you're handling next week, that means we are doing something different.
No, I think you started. You can
Yeah.
handle first, so that I can take a break.
So yes, we will come back to another 4, maybe.
But I don't think
Next
it'd be
week.
fair if you do and then there's something else in
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
It's
Okay, I agree. So we'll come back to it next week. But let us know.
if you have any other Christianese, please say in the
Yeah.
comments.
Or if you have ever said this to somebody, or somebody has said it to you, you can also let us know. But I don't know if I should just close the episode. I should, right? Well. But you usually close it, so.
Anyways, if you have any other Christianese sayings, why am I doing this? Christianese sayings,
Yeah.
you can share with us. We just might discuss it. The other things that you think are not quite true, that have been misconstrued, that have been twisted to suit a particular narrative, feel free to send it to us. Put in the comments, share it on Instagram, DM us, whatever. And if you disagree with anything we said today, hey, feel
It's
free
fine,
to share.
yeah.
We're open to discussion,
It's
open
fine.
to conversation. If you have anything to add as well, our comments and DMs are open.
Always.
Always. Yeah.
Always open.
So we will see you again. Next episode. Disclaimer though, we will be taking a break soon.
And end of month.
No.
Beginning of July.
Beginning of July, I'll be taking a break soon. And before break, we have a like special episode planned for you guys. So we are working on all of that, and yeah. So I think that's it for today. I am Phoebe,
I am Jay.
and this has been Conversations with Phoebe and Jay, your Bible besties. See you next week. Bye.
Bye, guys.